Good afternoon. Welcome to the March 17th formal meeting of the Phoenix City Council. I will call the meeting to order and welcome to the March 17th meeting of the Assisted Housing Governing Board. I will call the Assisted Housing Governing Board meeting to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Board Member DeCiccio.
Here.
Board Member Garcia.
Here.
Board Member Guardado.
Here.
Board Member Nowakowski. Board Member Pastor.
Here.
Board Member Stark.
Here.
Board Member Waring.
Here.
Board Member Wiesahan. Vice Chair Williams.
Here.
Chairwoman Gallego.
Here. Board Member Wiesahan, do you have a motion to approve the minutes from December 2nd, 2020?
Mayor, it appears that Board Member Wiesahan is having technical difficulty.
All right. Vice Mayor, do you have a motion?
I would move approval. Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Minutes pass unanimously. Do we have a motion in item number 4 on our resolution?
Chair, do you want me to make it?
Please.
Resolution is adopting the Housing Department's 2021-22 Annual Agency Plan, Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Administrative Plan, the Public Housing Admissions and Continued Occupancy Policy, Capital Fund Program, and Capital Fund 5-Year Action Plan, and authorizing the Housing Department to submit the respective documents to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Second.
Nicely done. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
DeCiccio.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
Nowakowski. Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Wiesahan. Williams.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Thank you. That is our final meeting item for the Housing Governing Board. We will adjourn that meeting. I will call to order the formal meeting of the Phoenix City Council for March 17th. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman DeCiccio.
Here.
Councilmember Garcia.
Here.
Councilwoman Guardado.
Here.
Councilman Nowakowski. Councilwoman Pastor.
Here.
Councilwoman Stark.
Here.
Councilman Waring.
Here.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Here.
Mayor Gallego.
Here. Mario Barajas is with us to provide Spanish interpretation. Mario, would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. As you previously mentioned, my name is Mario Barajas, and I'll be serving as today's Spanish interpreter. I'm now going to take this time to introduce myself to our Spanish-speaking audience. Muy buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Mario Barajas. Yo seré quien les estará facilitando con la interpretación del español el día de hoy. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mario. Will the city clerk please read the 24-hour paragraph?
The titles of the following ordinance and resolution numbers on the agenda were available to the public at least 24 hours prior to this council meeting and therefore may be read by title or agenda item only. Ordinances number G6818, 6822 through 6827, S47364 through 47416, and resolutions 21901 through 21905.
Thank you. As part of meetings of the Phoenix City Council, our residents are invited to provide comments. We want to support civil discourse. I will turn to our city attorney to introduce citizen comments.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Members of the public may speak for up to 2 minutes to comment on agenda items that are being discussed. Comments must be related to the agenda item and the action being considered by the council. General comments that go beyond the scope of the agenda item must be made in the citizen comments section at the end of the agenda. The city code requires that speakers must present their comments in a respectful and courteous manner. Profane language, threats, and personal attacks on members of the public, council members, or staff are not allowed. A person who violates these rules will lose their opportunity to continue to speak.
Thank you. We next move to agenda item 1, which is appointments to boards and commissions. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
I move to approve mayor and city council board and commission nominations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. Passes unanimously. We move to liquor license applications. The Phoenix City Council serves as an advisory body to the state of Arizona on liquor license applications. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve items 2 through 11, except item 11, and noting that item 12 has been withdrawn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? Passes unanimously. We next move to item number 11, which is the vault in Council District 8. Councilmember Garcia, do you have a motion?
Move to approve item 8.
Second.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
Nowakowski, Pastor,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
No.
Williams,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-1.
City Clerk, are we ready for ordinances, resolutions, new business, planning, and zoning?
Yes, Mayor.
Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve items 13 through 104, except the following: 46, 64, 65, 67, 68, 69, 81, and 100 through 103. Item 49 has been withdrawn. Item 67, 102, and 103 are as corrected, and 104 is requested to be continued to April 7th, 2021, and excluding for public comment, item 25.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any corrections? Roll call.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
Nowakowski, Pastor,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Item 25 is third-party assessment of police department demonstration and protest response. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I will turn to our city manager for a brief introduction of this item.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Item 25 is a request to enter into a contract for third-party independent assessment of Phoenix Police Department's protest response and tactical and field training. As we all know, our police officers are asked to do difficult jobs in extreme conditions, and we rightfully hold them to high standards. It's important that we give them the best training, policies, and practices so that we always uphold constitutional rights of our residents to freely and peacefully assemble and speak. Over the past 4 years, and specifically last summer, Phoenix police have been called upon to handle First Amendment protests, rallies, and demonstrations. There are some individual officer behaviors that are being addressed from that time through outside and internal investigations. However, more importantly, I think we must also review the whole construct and culture of how we respond to protests. We've seen that we need to review and improve our tactics, our protocols, and policies so that our officers have the training they need to keep everyone safe and able to exercise their rights to peacefully assemble. So to do that, I asked the Finance Department to engage an independent expert to conduct a comprehensive review of practices and policies and provide recommendations for improvement, specifically in the Downtown Operations Unit and Tactical Response Unit, as well as the Field Training Officer program for those units. This contract on the agenda today with 21 CP Solutions, I believe, I recommend it to you because it gives us an opportunity to do the things I mentioned, using recognized, experienced, and respected leaders in modern police practices. Among the 21 CP Solutions team are Chuck Ramsey, the former chief of Philadelphia and DC Metro Police Departments. He most notably co-chaired President Obama's task force on 21st century policing. Ron Davis is a former directive of the U.S. Department of Justice Community-Oriented Policing Services Office and was the executive director of the task force on 21st century policing. Robert Villaseñor is a former chief of Tucson Police and was a member of the task force on 21st century policing. Matthew Barge is a former federal court-appointed monitor of the Cleveland Police Department's federal consent decree. And Sean Smoot is an attorney and was a member of the task force on 21st century policing and also a member of the Baltimore and Cleveland Police consent decree monitoring teams. This is a very strong team of independent people who have experience in policing, in police protocols and policies. And so we would be asking them to come in and assess our practices and our policies, our field training operations, and give us actionable recommendations for Chief Williams to implement and for the city. So this comes to you today with my strongest recommendation for approval, and be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do any members of the council have comments or questions before we go to public testimony?
Mayor.
Council member.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Ed, for presenting this. I think, been around this for a while now, and we know that we've had many reports and investigations, and committees give us recommendations. So I hope that in this upcoming year, we're able to finalize and get the Office of Accountability and Transparency that is independent of law enforcement. I know it was hard to find an agency without law enforcement in this field. And so I think we hopefully these types of incidents we will be able to deal with the Office of Accountability and Transparency. The question I have is, I know we've had some reports that might not have been public. So I guess there's two questions. One, is there a plan to have these findings become public or to have a public conversation about it? And then two, is there a plan of how we would handle the implementation of the recommendations that are coming from this investigation?
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Garcia. Make sure I understand which investigations you're talking about. So I'll start with the first two. So as has been made public and is known, we've engaged Ballard Spahr to investigate the issue of challenge coins in our tactical response unit or our downtown operations unit of our police department. And also Ballard Spahr is separately doing an investigation of the protests from last summer and the write-up of charges, submittal of charges, and coordination, if any, of charges with the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Those are two separate investigations being done by Ballard Spahr, and the intention has always been that the results of those investigations will be made public. And you asked a third question, I thought, or another investigation question.
I think we just had an ad hoc that reviewed a lot of recommendations from previous reports and previous committees, and we don't really have a plan to implement those recommendations. And so obviously I'm calling that out as a problem, but also just thinking through something like this, we're spending funds to bring all these experts that you just mentioned to investigate us. I just asking, what are your thoughts on implementing what they recommend to us?
Thank you,
What
understood.
that process looks like.
Thank you, Councilmember. Yes, so this, this contract would involve a deliverable, which is a specific report with actionable recommendations that I will, assuming that they are largely focused on the police department, I will charge Chief Williams with coming up with an action plan to respond to each one of those recommendations and a timeline for implementation of those recommendations. That would be something that we would make public with the City Council so that you would understand what the recommendations were and what the plan would be to implement those recommendations. And that would be done publicly.
And what I mentioned earlier, I think I found, and maybe you can refresh our memory, but in 2015, there was a Matrix, I believe, group that did an investigation, and those findings weren't made public. And so that's what I was referencing earlier. Just wanting to make sure that whatever comes out of this is made public.
Yes, this is intended to be a public report with public response.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will begin public comment now. We will begin with Vanessa DiCarlo, followed by Anicia Groves.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Over 64 million a year. With the 64 million, True has funded the arrests, trauma, and targeted efforts to silence Black and Brown-led organizers and protesters. With 64 million, True has funded neo-Nazi killer cops who were empowered and allowed to celebrate their violence by you. With the 64 million, True has been funded to create costly lawsuits, lied on the stand, triggered a national news report, and community outrage. With 64 million, True has sought to threaten First Amendment rights, silence protesters, specifically Black and Brown-led organizers and other protesters as well. Anybody who would dare to speak against the killing of Black and Brown individuals in the community. With 64 million, True has only brought harm and never created safety and protection. And with 64 million, True has only protected property, not people or Black lives. We know the only real solution is to disband the unit entirely and defund, demilitarize Phoenix police. We don't need another $100,000 report by consult cops. True's actions are clear and present to anyone who is willing to listen. True reflects the anti-Black white supremacist values and is truly disgusting. Do your job, disband True, and invest the 64 million in True community health and safety. For City Manager Ed Zerker, you mentioned the 21 CP to investigate how violent PPD's True is. You also mentioned high standards. There are none. You mentioned culture, white supremacy, training. Training is not going to be able to fix this mess. Only disbanding True will, and exercising our rights to peacefully assemble. Don't get in the way and don't bring your violence, and don't come and dismantle and completely disband True. And I just saved you a lot of money. So this is, I cannot believe that we're still having this conversation. It's disgusting. Thank you.
Anicia will be next, followed by Chelsea.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. So just so we're clear, as Ed so helpfully shared with us a bit ago, 21CP is made up largely of former law enforcement who are thus well trained in the white supremacist foundations of policing by default, hardly the folks we need to report on the harms done to protesters by the TRU. Working with 21CP is nothing more than a PR move. You're trying to use the least amount of money possible and the most police-friendly firm possible to make the quote-unquote bad press around the political prosecutions go away. You think that because 21CP uses a lot of fancy liberal buzzwords and claims to be supported by supposed civil rights activists that the report will convince the public that you've done your job and that our police department did everything right. Maybe some of the public will be fooled, but we know better. This game playing is unacceptable. Ed and Jerry have known about the TRU's violence and white supremacy since at least 2017, and the only reason you're doing anything now is because the issue is finally visible in the mainstream media and you need to do damage control around your positions. And we aren't going to fall for curtain box lies from this morning about not having adequate information about this TRU and the intentional, premeditated, coordinated harms they have done to protesters over the past year and beyond. The information is already more than adequate. We know the only real solution is to disband the $64 million a year tactical response unit entirely and defund and demilitarize Phoenix Police. We don't need another $100,000 report. And we don't need any other numbers or studies. Invest all that money in the community. We need you to instead meet the demands of the citizens' petitions filed in February and take action on that immediately.
Chelsea is next, followed by Jisoo.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm here today in solidarity with the Black and directly impacted people of Phoenix to put people over property and demand the dissolution of the Tactical Response Unit. First of all, this 21 CP investigation suggestion is coming from Ed, so we know it's going to give a pass to his cop buddies. He'll have you believe that a 21 CP investigation into the TRU will solve the myriad problems with violence against protesters, but of course this is false. 21 CP's ranks are filled with former police chiefs who are already steeped in cop culture and who cannot be trusted to run an independent investigation. We've seen this again and again. Police cannot police themselves. It doesn't work. This 21 CP strategy has been tried by multiple cities, including Seattle and Minneapolis, and it has had no effect. The city office is wasting our time, even suggesting that police will hold themselves accountable. We had to sit here this morning and listen to Kurtenbach lie about protesters' possessions and his ability to access information the public literally already has access to. There's hard evidence that cops lied under oath. When will City Council step up and take action against PPD? I spoke to Mayor Kate in person at an event last year where she was very eager to tell me how proud she is of the 2019 body cam rollout. But as we've seen in ABC 15's reporting, there is no accountability, even with the body cams. And we even saw one officer cover his camera with his hand while entering charges for protesters. We can expect more of the same from an investigation of cops by cops. None of your solutions are working because violence and white supremacy are programmed into the very core of policing. Stop wasting our time and money. Do your jobs. Dissolve the violent and anti-democratic tactical response unit and defund the racist Phoenix police. Thank you.
Jisoo will be followed by Benjamin Lewis.
Hello, I'm calling in because this contract is absurd and should not go through. It is so typical that the city would respond to the calling out of the Technical Response Unit with a proposal that is both expensive and set up to fail. You have been dragged locally and nationally about PPD's violence, and that is the only reason you are giving these false platitudes now. This so-called independent investigation will be helmed by a firm that is filled to the brim with former high-ranking law enforcement officials. Ed Zerker did us the honor just now revealing that to us himself. This firm has been employed everywhere from Seattle to Minneapolis with zero effect. And why is that? It's because cops can't investigate cops. This is yet another performative action by our cowardly and spineless city management. We know the only real solution is to disband the unit entirely and defund and demilitarize Phoenix Police. We don't need another report. What we do need is for you to listen to the 9 citizens' petitions demands that were filed in February and take action now. Do your job or lose your job. Especially you, Ed Zerker. Disband TRU and invest the $64 million it costs in true community health and safety. Thank you.
Benjamin is next, followed by Tina.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you so much. The one thing that we are trying to resoundingly communicate to our city council, a group of individuals who seem to remain happy to pass the blame to bureaucracy, is that our city police department is out of control and we want to try something different, something safer for our people. We know that Phoenix PD cannot see the harm it is creating. We hear them at every city council meeting blaming peaceful protesters for requiring the violent response of the TRU. They believe that they deserve to be doing what they were doing to our citizens. Phoenix police are inflicting harm on the community while this council refuses to acknowledge that the people of the city are dying in the streets at the hands of police. We heard Police Chief Kurtenbach lie to council about the department's return of property today. Blatantly, he knows that they haven't returned it. If the police are happy to lie to your face, council, then who should you believe? Ed, your officers are trained to only value property, and they abuse and mistreat our community as we stand up at our own peril for our constitutional right to be heard. To sum up what I learned today in subcommittee from Chief Kurtenbach and the city manager's office, we have a police union and an officer's bill of rights that hobbles all of us. It eliminates the ability of our elected officials to act swiftly and responsibly, to rein in state-sponsored and taxpayer-funded terror against our fellow Phoenicians. Mayor Gallego, council, are you in the pockets of police? Are you too scared to push back? Blink twice if we need to call for help. But then again, who would we call? Phoenix police? I hope you can perceive the conundrum. Because something has to change. We can't fall back on procedure time and time again to explain an action when action is the only thing that will bring about change. And we are here wasting our day pleading to your disinterested ears, demanding change. Thank you.
Tina will be next, followed by April.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. I was reading the agenda item and in there it says, based on Finance Department's analysis, 21 CP Solutions LLC was deemed to be responsive and responsible offer with extensive experience in reviewing large city police departments. Well, I looked at their website and I couldn't find any study that they did before 2019. Now, they might have extensive experience, but it's in policing. And we have seen what policing has been the last 20, 30, 40, I could go on. So when it says responsive and responsible, responsive to what the city wants the report to say, this is just wasted money. Cops can't investigate cops. I really think that there should be an independent outside the committee that investigates this. And I also would like to say that I know you folks are probably tired of hearing from us. We've been doing this for a year and we are not tired. It's been a year and you have done nothing, but we will continue to do the work. Just get used to us because we're not going anywhere until we see some action. Thank you very much.
April is next, followed by Kenneth.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm here today to express that I, your constituent, want you as my city council to deny this contract between 21 CP Solutions LLC. And here's why. For years, your constituents have been demanding accountability of the Phoenix Police Department, including the implementation of a community review board. The CRB was intentional, as we know that it is proven that it's ineffective to have cops investigate cops. This is all too relatable to what we see here today in these investigations of true hiring 21 CP Solutions would just be an ineffective use of our money, and we need to invest this money back in our community. We see that you are so intentional on this city council about avoiding accountability from our Phoenix Police Department, and that you love upholding white supremacy. Your inaction is absolutely telling, and there's no excuse anymore that you just don't know. We can see that you're avoiding taking action. We know the only real solution is to disband our tactical response unit entirely. And of course, defund and demilitarize our Phoenix police. We don't need another $100,000 report by consultant cops. We don't need numbers or studies. We need you to listen to those 9 citizen petitions from this morning and the demands that were filed back in February. You must start taking action. This is wrong to put this responsibility on your community to hold these people accountable. You have signed up for this job, not me. We pay for you to be there. We pay for you to take action and plan for our city.
We actually sat here and watched Kurtenbach lie all morning about police accountability. We see Phoenix police getting away with lies and collusion with the county attorney's office only until public exposure. We see what
Kenneth will be next, followed by Helen.
Do you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, hi. So the issue here is very simple, actually. This is a conflict of interest, and it shouldn't be anything new to anybody in this room, especially the person who just presented this this contract with 21CP. It is filled with police, and it's an interesting move, actually, because look at what's happening here. The people asked for an independent review for a third party, and the response was bringing in a organization full of police. And that shows a few things very clearly, that they are scared, that there's something that they are hiding, and they will not let anybody else see. And this is us asking, the public asking, and we are, well, we're not asking, we're demanding that they are investigated for their practices. And I'm sure anyone in this room has been seeing what's happened over the past year or so. And there shouldn't be anything that has to be explained to anybody. So we'll see what happens here, because I've listened to all these comments. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of information in there, and it's all true. I've seen it. I've seen the body cam where the police are covering it up to write down their charges, and it's all true. And we will see how this goes down. Will the police still be scared to let anyone see what they're doing and try a move like this, to have this company 21CP with that ridiculous website that you can tell was made by police, and just continue keeping everything they do a secret and abusing everybody? This, I don't support this contract, I guess is what I'm supposed to be saying. We need an independent third party. Otherwise, it is a conflict of interest. It's very simple. And if they cannot go on with an investigation without a conflict of interest, then that's what we'll see.
Helen will be next, followed by Patricia.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to come on here and make my voice heard. I sat through the meeting this morning and just see how you guys just keep ignoring the voice of the people. It's pretty ridiculous. The Tactical Response Unit cost more than $64 million a year. Where could that money be invested, guys? Like, this is ridiculous. You guys use this to terrorize Black leaders and their allies who speak out against Phoenix police violence. It's really disgusting that we won't allow you guys to ignore this any longer. What I'm trying to say also is that, hearing Michael Kurtenbach this morning talk about how, all property was given back, when we know that is not true. There's people that don't have their things back. We hear Ed Zuckerberg talking about how the police have a difficult job. It doesn't sound like it, because they are very willing to make challenge points to celebrate their white supremacy. So we know that the interest that they have is over property and not people. I yield the rest of my time.
Patricia is next, followed by Prasad.
Hi, thank you, Mayor Kate, council members, City Manager Ed. I do appreciate you all being here. I appreciate the community showing up too. I just want to invite council. I know these conversations are difficult. I know it makes you uncomfortable to hear these comments that I believe you perceive as accusations, but I really implore you to please just pause and see if you can find the truth in what the community is saying day after day. I know that Sal and Deb and Michael and many of you, all of you, in fact, support the police and the good that you see they do in the community. And I wonder if you could find it in your heart to please pause and really think about everything that you're hearing from these people that keep coming back in solidarity with Black and Brown leadership, telling you that the police are the problem. Truly, policing, its origins come from slave patrol. 21st century policing cannot come up with a solution. I beg you to take seriously these concerns instead of dismissing them defensively, which would be anyone's instinct, to reflect on them and maybe do some studying or research. There's so much out there that proves that policing is literally a public health threat, that police are caging and killing Black and Brown folks disproportionately. It is unjust. And Ed, we don't take lightly the call to terminate you. That's a big deal. You strongly recommend that this is the solution for PPD and TRU's misconduct and violence against community members' constitutional rights. They don't have an extreme condition with their job. They are working in our communities.
Prasad is next, followed by Victor.
Hello? Okay. Hiring a firm filled with powerful former law enforcement officials will not give us the accountability or reparations to the actual harm this police department and this unit continues to do. What has this firm actually done in any of the cities they've been to? What measures for reform will they give us that Phoenix PD hasn't already proven won't change their desire and ability to cage and kill Black and Brown people in the city? They have body cams, they get implicit bias trainings, the list goes on, and we see what they've done with all of that. This is a rotten institution, and until you can deal with that reality, all these reports and investigations are a farce and a waste of money. In the meantime, treat PPD like any other department, like any other employee. Take their power and money away when they keep doing things wrong. If Ed had taken that to heart in 2017, when this unit proved for the world to see that their political motivations and bias led to this brutality, we wouldn't be here. You could have prevented this, Ed. People's lives wouldn't be hanging in the balance like this. This is your failure. With the more than $300K you take home every day, how could you only be pushed to take action now? This is your failure. People are being killed, caged, and silenced under your watch. Disband TRU, defund Phoenix PD, terminate Ed. I yield the rest of my time.
Victor is next, followed by Harper.
Mayor, Victor is not on the line.
Thank you. Harper is next, followed by Hannah.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Cops cannot investigate cops. This is another performative action by our cowardly and useless city management. We know the real solution is to disband the unit entirely and defund and demilitarize Phoenix Police. We don't need another $100,000 report by consultant cops. We don't need numbers, and we don't need studies. We need you to listen to the 9 citizens' petitions demanding that were filed in February and take action now. Defund Phoenix City. I yield the rest of my time.
Hannah is our next speaker.
This investigation is a sham. Cops are incapable of investigating other cops, and the firm in charge of this so-called investigation is infested with former cops, all as violent as the neo-Nazis they are being charged with investigating. We tell you no more money to cops, and you turn around and shovel money to former cops? Disgusting. Please explain to us why we need to spend $250,000 on this investigation, when all the evidence we need is available to the public right now. Based on Dave Biscobing's excellent reporting, you have everything you need to fire them all, right there on the evening news. The whole city has seen the evidence that chokehold Jerry and her cops exist only to murder and cause harm in our city. Haven't you watched the news? Instead, you choose to do your jobs, your real jobs, which is to protect the systems of anti-Black white supremacist patriarchy that you are all sworn to uphold. Government has no other goal than to oppress, to crush the life out of all people trapped under its shadow. None of you are truly incompetent. You pretend you are, to try to preserve some tiny shred of dignity for yourselves, but you all know what you're doing. Mayor Kate chooses the path of complicity. She not only allows those under her power to commit violent atrocities, she encourages it. She praises the agents of fascism, Ed Zerker and Chokehold Jerry. She approves raises to the most violent pigs in the nation, Phoenix PD, every single year. She upholds white supremacy in every word and deed. She is the silent white liberal with a nice white smile who drives the knife in further with every one of these meetings. She hides behind rules and procedures and sicks her lawyers on us when we dare to speak up. Black folks living in Phoenix have been pushing her to be better, to listen, to show one tiny drop of care, but she refuses. She protects her friend Ed Zerker, the current architect of anti-Black white supremacist policy in the city, the latest in a long line of white supremacists to hold the position. Ed is the pleasant blank face of white supremacy the system needs to continue its violence against Black folks. You are the smiling serial killer behind the most...
That concludes our public comment. Any council member comments? Roll call.
DeCiccio.
Oh, Mayor, I just have a quick comment I'd like to make.
Please.
It's actually, Mayor, I'm sorry.
Councilman DeCiccio,
Mayor?
the floor is yours. The councilman, the floor is
Thank
yours.
you for that. So this is a smart move on those individuals to attack Ed Zerker. And what they don't understand is that Ed is only doing what the council wants him to do, that there's not been a single person, not one person, who's put a motion on the table asking to defund the police. Not one. Not one person said they want to get rid of the SAU. Not one in any meeting that we've been in. So this has been a planned attack. And Ed, from your end, I'm sorry you had to go through this. It's what the police have been going through for so many years now, for the last couple of years. It's the same people every single year. These are individuals that are weak at heart. They just know how to organize 15 to 20 people, and that's about it. And that's really what we're seeing now. So these individuals that are doing these attacks, they are smart in the sense that they understand that going after the city manager, going after his job, doing all these things is what they should be doing to put pressure on him to act in a certain way, which he's not going to do because he's getting direction from the city council. The budget that was presented was one that the council supported. Otherwise, it would never have gone forward. The budget has more money for police. It has police pay. And the reason I'm bringing the police pay increases. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that the individuals that are here every week need to understand they do not have that support. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime. It's just not going to happen. So they can yell and scream and do all that they want. But the bottom line is Ed is only doing what we've asked him to do in this entire situation here. This is a reasonable proposal coming forward. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't even think we need it. But I'm going to vote for it because I think it's something that we should do to reaffirm the fact that we're doing the right things. We should always look into things. When people make accusations that are this serious, then I think we should look into it. But these attacks are unwarranted and they're weak at heart. But they're concerted and they're very organized. And it's the organized same 15 to 20 people that we hear every week. And the reason I'm bringing this up, the first time we heard this, 187 people called. And not this same issue, but a similar issue, 187. Then it went down to 60. Now we're down to 15, 20, whatever that number is. It's the same people. So at the end of the day, we need to realize that this is a big nothing that these people are complaining about, a huge big nothing. And the police department's done an excellent job. They will continue to do an excellent job because they represent us, and they do an amazing job out there. And I'd like to hear other members of the council defend Ed, defend our police department, and say, at the end of the day, we're done with all this nonsense that's been going on at the city. So I'm going to be voting yes, Mayor. Thank you.
Garcia.
Mayor, may I explain my vote?
Please do.
Thank you. I don't think this is necessary because I think we've seen enough and seen the investigation, or not need of an investigation, but seen what the police have done firsthand with the videos. The reporting that happened was unbelievable. I think we can all be judges ourselves by being able to see the evidence and the misconduct by our officers. I hope that to Ed and the chief, we're looking to make shifts and changes now that we're not waiting for this report to come back. I think what we're going to find from this report or any other report is what we've all seen in the reporting and the videos we've seen in the last 2 months. And so I hope we don't wait for too long. I did want to ask a question of Ed of how long we expect this to take. Obviously, it's, you probably don't have an exact timeline, but I'm wondering if we're asking of a timeline for them or an expectation of when this is coming. And again, I have some of the same frustrations that the callers have because we've had recommendations, because we've had investigations in the past, and we've seen little movement from our part and from the police's part. And so I'm gonna vote yes for I guess almost a similar reason as Sal, where I think this report's gonna validate what we've all seen. And I don't think whatever these folks are, these former officers are gonna find, they're not gonna be able to hide what we've all seen on video. But yeah, I had that one outstanding question. We could take it later, but my vote is yes.
Mayor, Councilmember Garcia, thank you. The first report from this is due in 90 days. So we've given them that timeline. I do just also want to clarify, this is not an investigation in the same way that the Ballard Spar contract is investigating specific people about specific actions. This is an assessment of tactics and policies that's designed to give us actionable information for wholesale changes if needed, if identified in that group. This is not to identify one officer did this or that. That'll be reviewed. This is about changing training, field training, tactics, policies, protocols, you name it. That's what this is for.
Ed, and I guess and I'm sorry, Mayor, I know we're voting right now, but I have a follow-up question. Is it okay to make it?
Thank you. I prefer that people speak before roll call, but go ahead.
Sorry, Mayor, I tried to jump in, but we ran into roll call. Thank you. Ed, will these folks be talking, because that was one of the themes of folks speaking right now, would they be talking to the people that were arrested or the community members that were impacted by the arrest or the conduct of the officers?
We can have them do stakeholder outreach and conversation, yes.
All right, thank you.
Guardado,
Yes.
Nowakowski, I apologize. I see Councilmember Nowakowski. Nowakowski?
I couldn't hear the motion. Can you repeat the motion one more time for me, please?
It was to approve.
The motion is to approve item 25.
I'm a yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Pastor?
I would like to explain
Please do.
my vote. On February 26, 2021, Councilman Garcia, Councilwoman Guardado, and I wrote a 3-person memo asking the city manager to do a number of things regarding the Phoenix Police Department. And one of them was that we asked for was to conduct an audit on an audit of the Phoenix Police Department's response to protests, to include communications before, during, and after, and implement necessary changes that are needed immediately. It is our priority to ensure that anyone who interacts with the Phoenix Police Department is treated equitably and with respect. Furthermore, we request that the Public Safety and Justice Subcommittee agendize this item. Well, it came to formal. So we as council people are doing our due diligence and doing what is right in the sense of asking for an audit to look at these items and behaviors within the Phoenix Police Department. And so I'm voting yes.
Stark?
I'm a yes vote, but Mayor, if I might be able to speak just for a second. I want Ed to know that I support him And I do believe in free speech, but to call our city manager a serial killer is just out of line. I just don't appreciate that. And I think that Kurt Bach did a great job this morning in trying to explain the positions. And so thank you. I'm a yes.
Waring?
Mayor, I'd like to explain my vote. So to Ed Zerker, you're about as fine a public servant as I've met in a few years of doing this kind of work. And I'm sorry you had to listen to what you had to listen to today and at some other meetings. To Deb's point, to call you a serial killer, a Nazi, it speaks volumes about the people who are saying such things. It says nothing about you. I think you recognize that from the members of the council, but it is what it is, I guess. But like I said, it speaks volumes, but not maybe in the way it was intended. To Chief Kurtenbach and Chief Williams, I guess the current style is to hang some sort of ridiculous nickname on people or just call them a liar. But I don't always agree with anybody, frankly. But I don't always agree with either of you. But if you're listening, I'm sorry that you were just called names like we're on a playground and we're 10 years old. It's actually embarrassing to be a part of it in some ways. So I just wanted you to know that. And finally, there was a thing circulating about Jeff Barton, who I have found does excellent work for the city. And again, the name calling and so forth. He's probably not as used to it as the rest of us or the three I previously mentioned. So I guess I'll just say to him, welcome to the NFL. But I don't understand where we're going if this is the kind of council meetings and the kind of comments we're going to have. I know it's not reflective of the vast majority of the public, and anybody who's watching at home, I hope recognizes that, but it's got to be a little bit dispiriting, and I'm sorry to have to listen to it. Thank you.
Councilman Waring, can you please state your vote?
Yeah, I vote yes.
Thank you. Williams?
Yes, I want to also say that I know that my constituents and many of the people I talk to are fully supportive of Ed and Chief Kurtenbach and Chief Williams. I think you're doing an outstanding job in a terrible situation, but I know you're recognized throughout this community as one of the best. So thank you for what you do. And yes, I support this.
Gallego?
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
We next move to item 46, establishing a new city code sections for impoundment of vehicles cited for racing or reckless driving. Will the city clerk please read the title?
Item 46 is for ordinance G6822, an ordinance amending the Phoenix City Code, Chapter 36, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 7, Miscellaneous Traffic and Vehicle Regulations, Division 1, moving regulations by adding new sections 36-70.01 through 36-70.04.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
Mayor, I thought Councilwoman Pastor wanted to speak.
Councilwoman Pastor.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank the Public Safety Committee and commend them for looking at this and understanding the seriousness of street racing. Street racing has been happening throughout our whole city, but it's really impacted District 4, and my constituents are grateful for us moving forward on a way to, a way to curb this type of behavior. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
I can make a motion if you like.
Please.
I move item number 46, establishing a new city code sections for impoundment of vehicles cited for racing or reckless driving.
Okay.
I'll second that, Mayor. Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I will recognize Public Safety Chairman Councilman Michael Nowakowski with the second. Thank you for your work on this.
Thank you, Mayor.
Council member comments on item 46.
Mayor,
Councilwoman Stark.
I just want to especially thank Councilwoman Pastor in that probably last 4 months, we've seen an uptick in this drag racing in District 3. And I know she was forward thinking from a couple years ago because of some issues in her district. So I thank her and I fully support this.
Councilman Noakowski.
Well, Mayor, I just really want to thank all of our staff for all their hard work and also all my colleagues. I mean, the speed racing isn't just in one district, it spreads out through the whole city. I know that in the Maryville area and Estrella Levine, it's been pretty bad out in those areas that people in the middle of the night have a car going into their backyards or into the side of their homes and stuff. So this is, it took a lot of work. All my colleagues on the public safety, we thought about all the different scenarios. So one of the biggest concerns was that a lot of these vehicles are actually one home vehicles that the parents needed to get to work on a Monday morning. And if their child happens to use the car without their permission, that they're going to be punished for a month. And that's not true. So if you can prove it's your vehicle and you can go and immediately and pull the vehicle out within 24 hours or something like that, as long as there's an understanding that it's registered in your name as a parent and that your child was using it without your permission. So thank you for all those that helped develop this this new ordinance.
Councilwoman Pastor.
Oh, no, I was just giving a thumbs up to everybody because all of us are working on it.
Roll call.
DeCiccio. DeCiccio.
Yes.
Thank you. Garcia.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
Noakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
We move to item 64, water service revenue. I will open the public hearing. We will begin with Mike Huckins.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. Can you hear me okay?
We can, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. For the record, Mike Huckins here with the Greater Phoenix Chamber, here in support of option 2 for the water rate increase for the city of Phoenix. As you recall, Mayor and council members, we came before you a couple years ago when the city started down this path of the rate increases needed to upgrade and replace a lot of the city's water infrastructure. Again, we did not take those increases lightly, but did support. The same thing goes for this time around. We started down the path now and feel like it's important to finish out the process over the next few years. So we are supportive of the rate increase as option 2 as presented. Again, without water, there can be no economic development. And no matter what the supplies are, if we don't have the infrastructure in place to get the water to residents and businesses, it doesn't do us any good. So want to thank staff for coming to the chamber twice last week to present their proposals and get buy-off from the chamber membership. And again, we urge your support. And with that, Mayor, be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much. Not seeing any questions. I want to thank our Water and Wastewater Rate Advisory Committee, chaired by Dr. Dave White, and recognize him for comments.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Dave White, and I am professor in Arizona State University at the School of Community Resources and Development and Deputy Director of the Global Institute of Sustainability and Innovation. I also chair the Citizens Water Wastewater Rate Advisory Committee. I'd like to speak to you in support of the proposed water rate increase and specifically option 2. I'd like to refer you to attachment B on page 100.
Mr. White, we can't hear you at this time. Are you still on the line? Mayor, it appears that Mr. White's having issues with his audio. Mayor, may I please do a sound check?
The interim director and city staff have fully briefed the committee on all financial forecasts, answered questions, and addressed all requests for following information. This allowed WRAC to make an informed decision to recommend option 2. And finally, I'd like to commend the department for conducting a far-reaching public engagement and education strategy, despite the challenges presented by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic response. The outreach efforts were comprehensive, included bilingual communication, and reached citizens throughout the community. So in closing, the members of the committee encourage you to adopt option 2 of the rate increase. And we thank you for the opportunity to serve you on this committee. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your service. That concludes public comment on item 64. We'll close the public hearing. We will move to item 65. Will the city clerk please read the title?
Item 65 is for ordinance number G6826, an ordinance amending section 37-63 Phoenix City Code pertaining to water rates within the city and within the town of Paradise Valley and providing for an effective date of the first bill day of October 2021.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Councilwoman, Vice Mayor.
I would move to recommend the city council increase the water service revenues of 3% effective March 2021, followed by an additional increase of 3.5% effective October 22. That is option 2.
Mayor, this is Karen. If I could, the proposal is to increase 3% October 1 of 21 and 3.5 in March of 22. Sorry for the confusion.
Oh, that's not what my paper says. Okay, thank you.
Second.
And Vice Mayor wanted to confirm, was your motion consistent with what Deputy City Manager Peters suggested?
It is not, but I take hers.
Okay, but you move what Karen Peters says.
Yes.
Perfect. And our second, you are comfortable with that?
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Guardado. And I believe you are muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you. Well, I just wanted to ask the Vice Mayor if it was okay if we made amendment to her motion to add that we would add more funding for project assist as we do these rate increases?
Yes, I think we discussed that in subcommittee. You're correct.
Perfect, thank you.
Second.
Any additional council member comments? Roll call.
Pacicio.
Mayor, just a quick one, if you don't mind. At some point, well, the city of Phoenix is going to be driving out the middle class because they pay these water bills. We're going to be driving out the business community. This is getting to the point of insanity, these constant increases on everything on the public. And I'm going to be voting no on this because sooner or later, it's going to reach a point of no return, and we are almost there. Thank you, Mayor.
Garcia.
Mayor, may I explain my vote?
Please do.
Thank you. I wanted to thank District 8 constituents who completed the survey. I think it's obviously a tough time to have this conversation, but we had in-depth conversations. We did community forums, had the surveys go out, appreciate staff and the work they did for that. I think folks recognize, especially in South Phoenix, the importance of infrastructure. We have some of the oldest pipes in South Phoenix, so we're excited to be able to tend to those. I do want to remind folks that both Project Assist and other utility assistance programs are available, and we will continue to fund those. I don't know, Councilwoman Guardado, if there was an amount that you all talked about in subcommittee. Again, we're already, I attempted to get comments before we started voting, but I think it'd be important to have an amount as to what we're giving to Project Assist. I don't know if we can do that later, or we have to do it as part of this motion. But yes, it's a tough decision, but one I think we have to make, so I vote yes.
Guardado.
Mayor, can I explain my vote?
Please do.
Yes, I also want to thank staff for all of their work that they've done on this. I want to thank them for coming up with this program of Project Assist. I know that we were able to help over 700 households in our district, and we were very thankful to be able to do that. I do think that we do need to figure out what the amount is maybe a conversation that we can have later. I know that we have a lot of families on fixed income, and we have a lot of seniors who may not be able to afford this increase. And I'm excited that we can find a way on how we can help those families. So I am going to be voting yes. Thank you.
Nowakowski.
No.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
No.
Williams.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 6-3.
Items 67, 68, and 69 are all revenue contract solicitations related to Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. We will take them all together. We will begin with a brief introduction from Acting Aviation Director Charlene Reynolds, and then I will turn to the Vice Mayor for a motion. Director Reynolds, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Mayor and members of the City Council. Yes, items 67, 68, and 69 are a request to issue 3 separate revenue contract solicitations for restaurants, retail, and a common use lounge within the last terminal to be built, the last concourse to be built in Terminal 4 S1. The lounge that staff is proposing is a 3,500 square foot lounge, which will be common use. Any passenger coming to the airport will have the ability to pay a flat fee and enter the lounge. The food and beverage program will be built in 2 separate phases. The first phase will include a food hall and a small business opportunity. And then on the food and beverage phase 2, a full service restaurant and bar. Retail will also be built in 2 separate phases. The first phase, a news and gift location, and also a tech store. And then the second phase will be a news and gift also, and an open concept. The reason why we are building or phasing the solicitation process for food, beverage, and retail is to ensure that they are not built until we have the employment to support the entire program, and therefore that we don't financially stress the potential proposers and calls for capital too early, but yet not having the employments to support the concessions program. So that concludes my brief overview. I will be happy to answer any more detailed questions that this council would have relative to this staff request to issue the revenue contract solicitation.
And Mayor, this is Mario. Just one quick clarification for item 67. Staff issued a memo this morning to the City Council to make it clear that the evaluation criteria for the common use lounge was intended to include language for employee wages and benefits with a focus on health insurance affordability and quality. And so that is the staff recommendation for item 67. It's already in there for 68 and 69. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I want to make the motion to approve items 67, 68, and 69 with the following change: to revise the contract terms for all the food and beverage, retail, and lounge concessions in T-Floor S1 concourse to a period of 10 years, not as listed as 7+3 extension. The 10 years is what was originally posted, and include the additional language that Mario just presented.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Council member comments. Councilwoman Guardado.
Thank you, Mayor. I just needed, Vice Mayor, I just needed a clarification on the 10-year contract. Is there a possibility that then they could get an extension for 3 more years?
No, it was just for the 10 years.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then, Mayor, I just had one more comment.
Please.
Yeah, so I just wanted to thank Charlene for all of her great work as acting director. I'm not sure, but I think this is her last meeting as coming up as acting director. And I just want to once again thank her for all of her work that she's done. She came into the airport as aviation director at a very difficult time, and I think she did an amazing job making sure that she was able to relay all the information back and forth on all the different things that were happening at the airport at the time. And now with this new contract, again, also thank you so much for hearing us out and finding a way to making sure that this is a good bid that we're going to be putting out there. So I am very excited about that. And as this contract goes out, I just want to once again reemphasize that as we're meeting with people, and I know that we're doing this, but just continue to emphasize that we want to make sure that we have the proper PPE and that they're going to be providing the proper PPE. We just received a letter today from HMS Host where they admitted on sometimes not having the proper PPE. So we just want to make sure that we can continue to have a safe airport. But again, thank you so much, everyone, for all the work that you guys have done. Thank you, Mayor.
Any additional council member questions or comments?
Mayor,
Vice Mayor.
I too would like to thank Charlene. She stepped in the middle of a hurricane, and she has been able to find a way and a path to get through it in a very convenient, considerate way. And I hope she stays with us, because the experience she has gone through, the short time she has been the interim director, probably puts her in line for any airport position in the world. So we want to keep her. She's outstanding, and I thank you very much for all you've done.
Thank you. And
Mayor, if I may say thank you, not only to this body, but also to say thank you to Ed and Mario for giving me this opportunity, which challenged me professionally, made me a better employee for the city of Phoenix, also made me a better employee understanding this industry. I like to thank them both for their support. These have been challenging times at the airport. And most of all, I'd like to thank the employees at the aviation department. With the pandemic, we've had to pivot. Every day we had some challenges, but they rose to the occasion. So I am very proud of the work that we have been able to accomplish. And I wouldn't be able to do the things that I have done during these 5 months without the great employees at the aviation department. So thank you all for this opportunity and your words of support and encouragement. I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Councilman Noakowski.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, I also want to thank Charlene for all her leadership and her hard work, and you made us all look good. I mean, we were going through some real hard times. We never expected that our airport would just go down to 0 flights at one point, and it's just incredible how you pulled the team together. And some of our employees have even lost their lives, and it was a hard time to build that morale of our staff. And I just want to make sure that we thank all the employees at the airport, and we can continue to pray for all those employees that ended up with COVID and then basically ended up passing away. It was something that's really hard for all of us. And I know that it's hard for the whole city of Phoenix. And Charlene, your leadership kept the morale together. And I just really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being that leader, jumping in during this time that I don't think anybody expected. So God bless you and thank you. And hopefully you stay a part of Team Phoenix. We need you.
Mayor.
Councilwoman Stark.
Okay, I'm starting to feel guilty. I need to chime in and praise Charlene as well. I can remember when she worked in the city manager's office and she had to review staff reports from planning and development. She has certainly come a long way. And she proves herself to be a leader. And why? Because she recognizes her staff and the hard work they've done, especially in the past year during the pandemic. I really appreciate everything she does for our city, and I'm sure she's going to stay with us. Right, Charlene? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Well said. We will now begin our public comment portion. We'll begin, and we do have several members of the public who wish to address the council in Spanish. We will begin with one of those, Yolanda Bustos, and she will be followed by April Hernandez.
Yolanda Bustos, ya puede dar su comentario.
Ok, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Yolanda Bustos. Trabajo por 15 años en el aeropuerto. Soy cajera.
Hello, my name is Yolanda Bustos. I've been working for 15 years at the airport as a cashier.
Y le doy muchas gracias a la señorita Benny Guardado y a la señorita Kaylee Wilson y a la señorita Laura. Está pasando con nosotros de trabajadores en el aeropuerto. Se le agradece mucho. Y yo estoy aquí por la situación que nosotros salimos para afuera a comer, no podemos comer adentro del restaurante. No nos dan permiso ya para comer, ya no tenemos mesa, ahora tenemos que salir para afuera, donde está la gente que va a dar vuelo para salir. Y yo no he descansado.
Señora, ¿puede pausar, señora? Dijo usted que quería agradecer a la señora Guardado y a Katie Wilson, y al final se cortó. Dijo Laura
Pastor.
Okay, gracias. And I've been working there for 15 years as a cashier, and I want to thank Denny or Miss Guardado, Katie Wilson, and Laura Pastor with the help that they've provided, and I'd like to appreciate that help. What I do want to say is that at the airport they're working, they've moved us from being able to take our breaks inside where the tables are at, they moved us out to where the rest of the public is at, out in the concourse area of the airport.
And Mario, if we could ask, we appreciate the kind comments, but if we could talk about the agenda items.
Señora, se le agradece sus comentarios amables, pero ¿se puede enfocar en el punto de la agenda?
Sí, entonces es esto, ¿ok? Entonces nosotros salimos para afuera para comer y yo tengo mucho miedo de agarrar el coronavirus, porque siempre estamos protegidos adentro del restaurante, nos ponemos máscara, guantes.
Yes, I'm getting to that. So the issue is that we're sent outside to go out and eat. When we're inside, we're fine. We're provided with gloves, with masks, but with the fear of the coronavirus, we're protected there. But out in the public, it's different. It causes us much fear.
Entonces pasa eso. Y pues yo tengo miedo porque yo no he descansado en todo el año. Yo estoy trabajando siempre. Todo el año.
And well, that's what it is. But I am in fear. The fact that I have been working all year, I haven't been laid off. I have been working all this time.
Entonces, pues, ¿qué puedo hacer o qué pueden ustedes ayudarnos para arreglar esto? Que nosotros pues no podemos estar adentro de toda la gente también.
So what is it that I can do? How can you guys help me out to fix this? Because we also can't be out with the public.
Pues tampoco es justo de que nosotros vayamos a comer afuera y
And it's also not just not fair for us to going out there outside and eat.
Thank you. April will be next, followed by Hewitt.
April, are you on the line?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is April Hernandez, and I've been a barista for 4 years now with HMS Host, and I am here to support this item because of the motion that was added last subcommittee meeting for these bids to include best value bidding, which will I'm sorry, I'm like walking, which will look and consider how these companies treat their workers. I also was revealed that strong anti-discrimination language would be added to our CS. Thank you for the members of the subcommittee for hearing our concerns. I also particularly want to thank Vice Mayor Caesar Williams, for your leadership in hearing our concerns these last several months and beginning supportive of us and positive changes at the airport, as well as the councilwoman Betty Guardado and Laura Pastor. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to our workers. I am in support of those items because I believe we should be rewarding good companies with these future bids, not companies like mine, HMS Host, because how they've treated us this past year. after I spoke out at the last subcommittee meeting. Oh,
Thank you. Hewitt will be followed by Abby Pacheco.
Okay. My name
Mayor,
is
I'd like to
Hewitt
ask her what
Kidani.
happened, Mayor.
Oh. Hello?
Mayor, this is Council Nowakowski. I have a question for the last speaker.
Okay, April, do we have April?
We will check, Mayor.
Councilman, would it be okay if Hewitt finishes her testimony and then we get April?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Mayor, April's no longer on.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Hello? Okay. My name is Hewitt Kidani. I work in 14 years. Now almost 1 year I stay home. Now you have job. I need job. Cover the insurance for everything cover. I need one for the job. I'm ready. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you. Could our staff let us know if April rejoins?
Yes, Mayor, she has rejoined.
yes, I'm still here. I'm sorry.
Would you mind answering a question or two?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Wonderful. Councilman Nowakowski, please.
So April, you were going to say after the meeting something happened? What happened?
So they they had pulled everyone individually and started speaking about like what was going on, and basically I don't know. I did feel a little intimidated and scared. So they were just basically calling everybody in, trying to get like basically just all the protocols that they should have done in the beginning of 2020. They try to say that it was just an investigation, but they were just asking me a bunch of questions, a lot of it was like about my coworkers as well, which I didn't know, and I kept telling them, I'm like, I'm not sure, like go ahead and ask them. I don't know. I'm not them. And basically just telling us like that, just trying to save their asses, I guess. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
And also like the breaks they're not letting us take our breaks after like 6-7 hours into our shift as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, April. Thank you, Councilman. We will next go to Abby, followed by Carmen Quintana.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Adriana. I've been a barista at HMS Host for 2 years now. I am here in support of this item because of the motion that was added last subcommittee meeting for these bids to include best value bidding, which will look at and consider how these companies treat their workers. Now, I also was relieved in strong anti-discrimination language would be added to the RCS. Thank you to the members of the subcommittee for hearing our concerns. I also particularly want to thank Vice Mayor Thelda Williams for your leadership in hearing our concerns these last several months and being supportive of us and positive changes at the airport, as well as Councilwomen Betty Guardado and Laura Pastor. It means a lot to me now. I am in support of these items because I believe we should be rewarding the companies with these future bids, but not companies like mine, which is HMS Host, because of how they've treated us. So my experience with that is I don't have proper health care. I don't have any health care at all because getting health care with them is expensive and it's poor health care. Now, it would just be cheaper for me to pay every time that I go to get a checkup or go to the doctors, it would just be cheaper for me to do that than to get terrible health care and still have to pay like a copay on top of that and pay everything else that I need, like medication and whatnot. And also, I work mainly in baggage, so we get a lot of customers. So we do come in contact with a lot of people, and sometimes we don't even have the proper glove sizes. We don't have certain PPE that we should have and should have been had from the beginning. Now,
Carmen Quintana is next, followed by Maria Rios. Both will speak in Spanish.
Sigue Carmen Quintana, seguido por María Ríos. Ambas van a estar hablando en español.
Hola, mi nombre es Carmen Quintana y yo trabajo para HMS Host como preparadora por 33 años.
Hello, my name is Carmen Quintana, and I've been working for HMS Host as a preparer for 33 years.
Y ahora estoy aquí para apoyar este tema debido a la emoción que se agregó en la última reunión del subcomité.
I'm here to support this issue due to the emotion that was added in the last subcommittee meeting.
Para que estas ofertas de mejor valor como estas empresas que tratan bien a sus empleados.
That offers better value, like this company here, and how these companies treat their employees.
También me sentí aliviada de que agregaran un lenguaje fuerte como la discriminación a la RCC, gracias, y también gracias a los miembros de este comité, Betty Guardado, Zelda Williams y Laura Pastor.
And I was also relieved that strong anti-discrimination language was added to the RCS. And thanks to the members of the subcommittee, Laura Pastor, Miss Williams. ¿Y cuál fue el otro nombre que dijo, señora?
Betty Guardado.
And Betty Guardado.
Y también les doy las gracias por escuchar nuestras preocupaciones.
And I also want to give thanks for listening to our concerns.
Creo que deberíamos de compensar a las empresas buenas que tratan bien a sus empleados, no como la HMS4.
I think we should reward good companies that treat their employees well, not like HMS Host.
Y por esa razón, creo que no se merecen las tiendas nuevas en el aeropuerto. Gracias.
And for that reason, I don't think they deserve new stores at the airport. Thank you.
Maria is next, followed by Victoria Smith.
Ahora sigue María.
Mi nombre es María Ríos. Yo soy empleada de la compañía HMS Host por 17 años.
My name is María Ríos, and I've been employed by HMS Host for 17 years now.
Y estoy llamando porque se da la oportunidad de expresar que no creo que sea una buena idea seguir apoyando a HMS Host.
I'm calling so I can express myself, and so I can say that it's not a good idea to be supporting HMS Host.
Ya que a ellos no les importó sacarnos fuera de la compañía, yo entiendo, por una pandemia, pero nos dejaron sin una aseguranza.
Since the fact that they left us out of the company. Yes, I understand that we're going through this pandemic, but they left us without insurance.
Y no solamente me preocupé al no tener una aseguranza, puesto que estaba pasando un proceso de cáncer, pero no es lógico seguir apoyando a una compañía que no se preocupa por sus empleados.
And well, I got worried because I didn't have insurance, and especially the fact that I was going through a process with cancer. So it's logical not to support a company that doesn't care about their employees.
Y yo me gustaría que se le diera soporte a otras compañías que se preocupan más por sus empleados.
And I would like to for there to be support for other companies that do care for their employees.
Muchas gracias por escucharnos y es bueno tener la oportunidad de expresar lo que uno piensa. Muchas gracias.
And thank you very much for listening to me. It's nice to be listened to and to be able to express myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next comment will be from Victoria Smith, and again, would ask that people comment on whether or not they support the agenda item.
Hi, how are you? You there?
We can hear you. Hello.
Hello. Hi. First of all, I'd like to thank Vice Mayor Williams, Councilwoman Betty, and Laura Pasteur. Thank you for supporting us employees that work for HMS Host. We're getting more support from you ladies than we're getting from our own company that we work for. We really do appreciate you listening to us. As our concerns for HMS Host is they don't deserve to get extra restaurants or anything. They're not taking care of us. And as for the the protocol on taking care of us for the COVID, after our last meeting, yes, like April said from Starbucks, they did start calling us us employees that did speak up. So they were fishing around and they were trying to use their intimidations as towards trying to keep us to be quiet. But we can't. This is our life. And as towards protecting the employees there, they need to do better. The only thing they changed after the last meeting that we got to speak to you ladies and the council and everything, they just put up two barriers in Olive and Ivy for the guests that you could just move and slide around. Other than that, all they did was put some bottles of little sanitizer hand lotions all over the place. But they can do a lot more, and HMS Host needs to take care of the employees first, what they do have. They're working us to death, and they are making money right now. They're getting away with so much financially, and us employees are not. Yes, I understand about the health insurance. I had to cut mine back. Now I can't go to my specialist to have my cancer checked. But for HMS Host, City Council, till they can prove that they can take care of the employees that they have now and quit working us while we're doing 3 to 4 times the job every day because they will not bring in the extra employees or hire. Why should you reward them?
Thank you. For our staff, is that all of our speakers on this agenda item?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you. Council member comments?
Mayor, I just have one question. We're not actually voting on who might get the contract. We're just voting to open up the RFP, correct? I guess I'm asking staff. Thank you.
Mayor, to Councilwoman Stark, that is absolutely correct. Staff's recommendation here today is just to request approval to issue the revenue contract solicitation.
Okay, thank you.
For our city attorney, may we vote on all three at once, or do any council members want individual votes on any of the three?
Mayor, if the council so chooses, you can vote on all three of these together as one motion.
Wonderful. Any council member comments or questions? Okay, we will move to roll call on items 67, 68, and 69. Will the clerk please call the roll?
DeCiccio. Garcia. I apologize. Garcia.
Yes.
Thank you. Guardado.
Yes.
Nowakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
We next move to item 81, Downtown Shared Electric Scooter Pilot Program Extension. Will the city clerk please read the title?
Item 81 is for ordinance G6823, an ordinance amending ordinance G6602 as amended by G6672 as amended by G6676 to further extend the sunset date of the dockless electric stand-up scooter pilot program to March 31st, 2022.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Do any council members wish to provide comment before we go to public? All right. We have two members of the public to address the council. We'll begin with Mr. Bowie, followed by Mr. Cheng.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor and council members. Thank you for the opportunity to provide comment supporting item 81. My name is Fong Bui and I'm representing SPIN, one of the operators participating in the city's e-scooter pilot program. I want to start by thanking the Street Transportation Department for their great work. They've put together in extending the pilot, as well as making sure that all companies serving the city of Phoenix and its residents and visitors are held accountable on issues such as responsible riding and parking, access, as well as equity. We're committed to doing our part at SPIN to expand mobility options while maximizing safety and minimizing clutter. SPIN supports the recommendation of the TII subcommittee to extend the pilot with the two existing operators. We have been deploying 15 to 20% of our allotted cap due to lower demand during the pandemic. And SPIN is committed to continuing to educate our users as well as work closely with the city and stakeholders to refine our operation and meet the needs of the community. Thanks again for your time, and we appreciate the opportunity to serve the city of Phoenix.
Thank you for your service to the city of Phoenix. Brandon will be our final speaker on this agenda item.
Hi there, can you hear me?
We can.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. My name is Brandon Chung, and I work on the government relations team here at Razor. Thank you for the opportunity to briefly address you in support of this item and in support of staff's recommendation to extend the city's two-vendor downtown shared electric scooter pilot program with the proposed changes for 12 months. Since launching our dockless shared scooter service in Phoenix half a year ago, Razor has proudly served thousands of unique riders with over 10,000 rides. This amounts to thousands of miles of travel within the city of Phoenix through an affordable, sustainable, non-emitting means of transportation. Along with our fellow operator SPIN, with whom we share an open and productive working relationship, Razor has remained committed to ensuring that our devices are used safely and responsibly. To that end, Razor has and will continue to double down on our rider education efforts in our app, through our social media and customer contact channels, and through virtual and in-person community engagement events. Our team has worked with city staff over the past months to modify our operations, including the modification of scooter staging, in response to feedback that we have received from the Street Transportation Department and various other community stakeholders. In March 2020, Razor introduced a set of industry-leading sanitation protocols in response to the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure that we continue to serve our employees and customers safely and responsibly. In practice, this means that almost all of our scooters are sanitized daily. These protocols were implemented across all of our shared scooter markets nationwide and will remain in place for the foreseeable future. And now more than ever, Phoenix residents and visitors need a safe and affordable means of getting around, and Razor is proud to have maintained its dockless shared scooter service, which we believe has become an integral part of Phoenix public transportation infrastructure throughout the COVID-19 crisis. We look forward to continuing to serve the Phoenix community and to answering any questions or addressing any outstanding concerns that you all may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any council member comments or questions? Roll call.
DeCiccio. Garcia.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
Nowakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
No.
Williams.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-1.
We move next to the planning and zoning portion of our agenda. We begin with item 100, the southwest corner of 7th Avenue and Pinnacle Peak Road, a general plan amendment. Councilwoman Williams, unless you prefer otherwise, I will go to the public hearing.
Go to the public hearing, please.
I will open the public hearing. The representative for the applicant is available if anyone has any questions. Does anyone have any questions? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and turn to Vice Mayor Williams for a motion.
Mayor, I'm going to move to approve this for the Planning Commission's approval and adopt a related resolution.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. This is exciting economic development opportunity. Do any council members wish to comment? Roll call.
DeCiccio. Garcia.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
Nowakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Wonderful. We next move to item 101. I will open the public hearing. We do not have any members of the public here to testify, so I will close the public hearing and turn to Vice Mayor Williams.
I move to approve for the Planning Commission's approval and adopt a related ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any council member comments? Roll call.
DeCiccio. Garcia.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
Nowakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Thank you. Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
We next move to items 102 and 103. We will have a joint public hearing on that. Could I turn to our planning director to give the briefest of introductions?
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Items 102 and 103 are cleaning up references to existing planning documents that were adopted in the early 1990s for the S-Peak Freeway Specific Plan and S-Peak Parkway Specific Plan. There are references in both adopted plans as well as the zoning ordinance, and that's why there are two items on the agenda. All it does is change the name to Piestewa Peak Freeway Specific Plan and Parkway Plan, and all the references to Piestewa Peak. There are no other changes in either of these items. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Director. Any questions? We'll open the public hearing. We do not have any members of the public to testify. I will close the public hearing. Do we have a motion?
Mayor, I move to approve for the Planning Commission's approval and adopt the related resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
DeCiccio. Garcia.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
Nowakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
We move to related item 103. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
We have a horse going by,
How delightful.
especially for the dogs.
Oh,
I move to approve for the Planning Commission's approval and adopt the related ordinance.
Second?
we have a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
DeCiccio. Garcia.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
Nowakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Wonderful. That concludes our agendized item for today. For members of our staff, do we have members of the public online to comment?
Mayor, we do not.
Since we do not have any members of the public here to comment, that concludes today's business. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Mayor.